Hey everybody, Corey here with Casual ADC, and this is going to be a brief video here talking about knife maintenance and the tools that I use. If you want a better video about this with really great tools, check out Nick Shabazz. If you aren't watching him already, he's a fantastic channel to watch. He just passed the 100,000 subscriber mark, so congratulations, Nick. A lot of these tools are going to be found on his website at nickshabazz.com/tools with Amazon affiliate links that will help his channel out a lot. So now that that's all over and done with, I will give you my little rundown of the tools I use and why I selected them. Here I have 91% isopropyl alcohol, a little hard to come by these days during the coronavirus pandemic. It'll be back in stock eventually, things will settle down. This is just a great degreaser. You can use things like Simple Green or acetone, but I highly suggest using this or Simple Green just because they are for cleaning and they work really well. When I do clean with that, I use these right here. These are 3x3 inch gun cleaning swatches. So if you look up shotgun cleaning cloths, this should come up. These are great. You can soak them with a little bit of alcohol and rub down any parts that need to be washed, like your washers, where your blade meets the washers and the detent bolt path. This here is blue Loctite. This just helps keep your pivot in place once you get a position the way you want. It's not necessary for all screws on a knife, but definitely for your pivot, especially if you want your action to stay the way it is. Just a little bit goes a long way. You don't want to shut your knife for good. And that's why you use the blue stuff. Never ever use the red. Red is bad news, and you'll lock your knife shut for good, basically. This is a Weha stubby driver here. They can be found pretty cheap on Amazon, and it accepts 1/4 inch bits, which are right here. These are also made by Weha. Weha, I would suggest for your bits. They're super dependable and they're high quality. You're not going to strip them really easily. Always be careful when you're removing screws on knives. It's important that you don't put too much pressure or too much torque. You don't want to ruin the screw or your bits. These bits are going to last you quite a long while. And these here as well. These are smaller. I think they're 4mm sized bits from Weha. Them, along with this iFixit driver here, you can purchase on Three Rivers Manufacturing website, the TRM, who makes the Atom and the Neutron, as well as the Nerd and some other knives coming up. They sell this on their website as a kit for $15. I think it's a great price. You're getting 2 T6, 1 T8, 1 T10, and a Phillips head driver, and they fit right into the iFixit driver. And this part right here rotates, so it makes it nice and easy to spin in your hand and take those screws out. Last but not least, this is knife pivot lube. That's just the lube that I use. There are a bunch of others around. Most notably, I would say, is Nano Oil or Benchmade's Blue Lube. A couple drops of that just on either side of the blade where it hits the washers or on the bearings, and it'll help your knife operate nice and smoothly and clean out any bit of gunk that builds up in there. That's about everything that I use to clean out my knives. Every once in a while, if a knife is stubborn, I use this little Griffin pocket tool here to help me pry the scales or the liners apart. I always use very minimal force because this is made of metal. Nick Shabazz uses a plastic spudger tool that I believe is made by iFixit as well. And that would be perfect because you're not going to damage steel with plastic. So if you're ever going to be doing anything like that, just be careful with your knives. If you wanted a bare bones kit for taking apart your knives and putting your knives back together, I would say get yourself isopropyl alcohol. You don't need these. You can just use a rag. You can use paper towel, but just be careful that you're not going to leave residue behind. You need some type of driver, whether it is the iFixit or a Weha, whatever it might be. They make cheap sets of drivers and bits. This one here is a Husky set. I think I got this for like $12 at Lowe's. And I have another cheap set here that's also Husky that I think might have been less than $10. So there are options available that won't break the bank. This Weha bit selector is a little bit pricier for just a few Torx bits, but you're getting very high quality bits with that brand, so it's hard to go wrong. Knife Pivot Lube, they also have a heavy option that is great for slip joints. So if you want to check them out, they're at kpl.com, I believe. As for the alcohol, find it at any of your local grocery stores or pharmacies. Places like that are always going to have it. This particular one was from Walmart. I think it runs like $3 for a 32-ounce bottle like this. It's really not too expensive and it'll last you a good while. Loctite, I think it's going to come in around $11, $12. I got this off of eBay. It's the only place I could find the stick. It was from a retailer on eBay, but the stick is going to be a little easier to do than the liquid is. But you can always go with the liquid as well. As I said, the iFixit driver and bit set can come from TRM's website, so just look up Three Rivers Manufacturing on Google, and it should come up, and that's under their knife accessories and hardware tab. The Weehaw stubby driver I got on Amazon as well, around $12 I want to say, and the cleaning cloths were I think $10 for a pack of 500. I have an absurd amount of these. It's going to take me a long time to go through them. Overall, this kit here, it's not crazy expensive at all. It is maybe $50. I didn't do any of the math there in my head, so I could be way off. But you're not looking at spending a whole lot of money, especially if you only get one bit set like this here. So you go $15, call it $30, 40, $45, and you can have everything you need. You can have a way to clean, a way to keep your pivot tight, a way to get it apart, and a way to keep it lubricated. So you have a few options when it comes to doing your own knife maintenance, but I highly suggest these tools. These tools have served me well for quite some time, and I'm not going to be changing them anytime soon. They're all cost effective for the most part, and usually easy to come by, except for this guy right now. So they're always available to replace, to get more of, if anything were to happen. But these are good, reliable tools that are going to get the job done for you. Thanks so much for watching, guys, and I hope you have a great rest of your day. Please like, comment, subscribe. We really appreciate it. Thanks again, and have a good one.